So, the reason we put our first gardens at the south side of in front of our greenhouse, which is south-facing, is because our prevalent wind over here is north, northwest, northeast. So the greenhouse actually acts as a windbreaker for our south-facing gardens, and it's circular, which is one of the best windbreaking shapes. The only place that we couldn't break the wind is the west side, which the wind comes from over there. You can see the valley, and it sweeps here, and it's actually only affects only this bed. All the other beds are protected over there by the wind, where we put corn and okras and sunflowers and other tall plants, which actually protect the second bed, which protects the third, and so on. So over here we've planted some windbreaking tree, like this is a perennial oak, which is evergreen. It doesn't drop off its leaves. This is a Mediterranean maple, which is also evergreen and has a very strong trunk and branches. It doesn't move at all with the wind. Another perennial oak, Mediterranean oak. Another Mediterranean maple. Perennial oaks. These grow up to 4 or 5 meters tall, which we're going to create a wall on the west side, which will actually protect us from the north wind. Carob trees, also very hardwood and a very good windbreaker, evergreen. And in between, with all kinds of things: red amaranth, flowers, comfrey, zinnia flowers. This is a cucumber that grew by itself, so we'll let it be here. Calendula, comfrey, carob trees. Our first bed is going fine. The corn has actually developed. You can see the black-eyed peas that have actually surrounded and climbing up the corn. This is a weird thing that's happening. These are usually the flowers, where the flowers of the corn are. So they get confused and they become a mix of male and female flowers. This is blue corn, and they produce some corn. Our okras are growing. We're gonna get much taller than that. We have chia seeds, comfrey, white clover, sunflowers, more corn, more okras down there, some zinnia flowers, chamomile, all kinds of things. Our second bed is growing too. The cucumber and the tomatoes are lining up and producing shade to the rest of the crops that need it. Down here it's easy to see the cucumbers and collect them from the inside or the outside. We have green peppers, more tomatoes, amaranth, beets. The black-eyed peas are also lining up. Over here, beets, tubers, parsley, arugula, dill, more tomatoes. It's very easy to see them and collect them from here. So it's doing its job. Our basil is working. We have this zucchini plant over here, which seems to become a bush rather than a creeper. Our perennial basil is growing. More cucumbers, aubergine. Going well. Flowers everywhere. These are some potatoes that grew by themselves, so we let them be here. More aubergine, basil. There are a lot of bugs roaming around here. I don't know if you can see them, but it's full of them. On the spearmint. Where are you, little bugs? They love the spearmint flowers. Spearmint everywhere. Spearmint becomes invasive, but it's very easy to chop and drop it and just leave it there and let it become organic matter. More pumpkins. I think this is a squash, a butternut squash. Our basils are growing. Our second year peppers are extremely productive. You can see it's full of them. Peppers everywhere. They take a little space and they produce a lot of crop, so it's good. More peppers over here. We love putting Kia plants everywhere. Kia is a nice plant. You can use the leaves and cook the leaves. They taste a bit like spinach. We use comfrey and we chop and drop it, and we use it as mulch. It provides a lot of nutrients and minerals to the soil, and once you cut it, if it's the right season, it will grow back again very quickly. Strawberries and asparagus doing well together. Chia seeds everywhere. Comfrey. Our vines over here, hibiscus, passion fruit. I don't know if you can see the fruit. Kiwi. It's looking great. We have sweet potatoes. More sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, pumpkins. We like to put the pumpkins at the south end of every bed, so the root system is actually in the heavily mulched and full of organic matter bed, but they always go towards the sun, so they have a lot of space to grow. And we don't water that, so it's also dry, so they don't rot away, and they don't take much space from the actual bed. More peppers. These are different kinds of peppers. Oh, yeah, different shapes. Sweet potatoes, lavender flowers. We have sage. This is some rhubarb that grew by itself from last year. Butternut squash. Sage, which is a very good medicinal plant. And everything is going according to the plan. They're growing healthy, strong and productive. And we're going to continue monitoring the progress. Eventually, this thing will be covered with our vines. Tomatoes, nice ones, basil, peppers, basil, flowers, and everything. And hopefully, within 5, 6, 7 years, the perennial evergreen trees will grow up to 4 or 5 meters and will break the wind from this place over here. We're also going to put perennial oaks at this side, which grow up to 10 meters to also break the wind that's coming from over here and produce some shade from our west side of the property. This grew by itself. I think it's a castor plant, the one that you get castor oil from. So we're going to continue monitoring our progress, and hopefully it's going to be a jungle out here.